Okay, good morning. So in the previous class, we thought about applications, sorry, principles of biotechnology. Now, today's class, we are going to discuss the MCQ of biotechnology and its application. I will share in the screen the questions. And before going to that, the brief synopsis of this topic, that is, the biotechnology has been applied in various fields like agriculture, medicine, and in the field of industries and etc. After that, there are few concepts like biopiracy, then biopatent, and some issues regarding. Now, as you know, I'm not going to waste the time on speaking about the synapses because a lot more we will discuss in the question itself as a synapses concept. Only thing you should know what are the things are contained in this chapter. As I told, production of transgenic animals, transgenic plants, then production of insulin, human insulin, and the further what you called the gene therapy, then biopiracy and biopatent, etc. So let us directly come to the questions. The first question, the RNA interference gene interferes with. So here, this is the application in the field of agriculture. Of course, this technology is being used in tobacco plant for the disease caused by a nematode, what do you call Melictogyne ignatia incognitia. So this parasite, this nematode, it infects the roots of the uh, tobacco plant, causes root knot disease. Ultimately, the plant growth will be uh, abnormal. So there is a reduction in the tobacco crop. To overcome this problem, we have used the biotechnology as this nematode infestation or infection we are going to reduce or we are going to stop. So RNA interference, also called I interference technology. So in this technology, a RNA complementary to the host is inserted, which make a double-stranded RNA in the tobacco plant that unable to produce protein, that is unable to undergo translation. As there is no translation, there is no protein. As there is no protein, there is no growth of the parasite because that protein is required for the growth of parasite, the nematode. Ultimately, nematode infection will be cured in the tobacco plant. So, keeping these things in mind, let us solve this question. RNA interference gene interferes with translation in nematodes, transcription in nematodes, both transcription and translation in nematodes, synthesis of recombinant, rRNA means recombinant RNA in nematodes. So basically, as just told, the RNA interference technology principle behind is to what you call make the RNA not to undergo translation. What you also call gene silencing. Okay, This technique is also called gene silencing. As means gene is unable to undergo protein synthesis. As you know, one gene, one product. That is product is protein. That may act differentially, maybe has an enzyme or hormone or structural proteins. Therefore, here the what you call RNA interference technology will make non what you call inhibit the RNA to undergo translation. So that's the answer. Translation in nematodes. This prevents the process of translation as there is no translation, there is no protein for the growth of nematodes. The rest of the things are not related one. Transcription is not one. Transcription will take place. The RNA will be produced, but the gene we have inserted, we have transferred into the plant that is complementary to the original gene RNA, as these two RNA molecules, as they are complementary to each other, they make bond together and become double-stranded RNA. And a double-stranded RNA will never be functional, and it simply undergo cleavage or degenerated in the parasite body, as it is unable to produce protein and unable to reproduce or growth. Therefore, the infection of this parasite can be protected by RNA interference gene. So one of the novel technology that term has been used in the NCERT textbook, of course, to prevent the tobacco infection nematode by nematode called Meligdogyne incognitia. Okay, I think that's about the question number one. Move on to the question number two. Protein encoded gene CRY1AB controls. So this is the gene that is present. Sorry, protein encoded gene CRY1AB controls. As there are different, of course, this is one more question related to the application of biotechnology in the field of agriculture, that is for the production of pest resistant plant. Example, the BT cotton, where we have introduced the different genes into the plant that produce different types of what we call proteins, which act as insecticidal protein or the poison for the insects, which kills those insects when these insects feed that genetically modified plant. So here one protein called CRY1AB gene. What do you call CRY protein? CRY1AB protein is simply called that from that gene. So it is being controlled, as in option we can see they have given different insects as a pest. Now which pest is being killed by this protein is the question here. Of course, in BT cotton we find CRY1AB gene that has been introduced, CRY2AB gene that is also being introduced, and CRY1AC gene. Totally 3 foreign genes, that is from a bacteria. We have used a bacteria which is commonly going to be infest or infect these insects. That is Bacillus thuringiensis bacteria. From that we have isolated these genes CRY1AB, CRY2AB, CRY1AC. Now the question is about only CRY1AB, because this gene produces a toxic protein which controls or kills a particular insect here, not all these as mentioned in the options. It acts on a particular insect it kills that insect, and that insect is the corn borer. So these are the insects which basically the infect the fruiting part of the plant. They get into the ovary. As the fruit develops, they stop eating that fruit from the inside. That is corn borer, one of the insect basically infect the corn. As, as the name, it's corn borer. That can also be infect the cotton plant, cotton fruit. Somehow, in general speaking, these insects feed that fruiting part of the plant and they destroy the fruits. Ultimately, the product will be decreased. So, to overcome these problems of insect, we have used the bird technology. We have applied the bird technology in different plants like BT cotton, BT brinjal, etc. So, I just told about try 1AB gene. In the same question, I'll just replace the protein code gene, try 2AB. Instead of 1AB, I will put 2AB. At that time, option remains same, okay, but answer is not the same because try 1AB act on borer, where try 2AB protein toxin act on the bollworm, cotton bollworm. So like that, the question may be modified. So you can make yourself such modifications in your mind for making the different questions, keeping the options as answers. Okay. Oh, I think this is enough because in upcoming question we'll get still more discussion on the same topics. Now, next question. A nematode dash infects the roots of the tobacco plant and causes great reduction in the yield. So this is a question related to the first question again. A nematode. We thought about that parasite. I have told in the first question itself. A nematode called Meliodine incognitia. It is the nematode, that is the worm, which infect the tobacco plant to cause a disease called root knot disease, which ultimately reduces the yield of the tobacco. Not ankylostoma. So ankylostoma duodenum is a common tapeworm, what we know, usually infest human and other animals as an endoparasite. Then Necator, also commonly called the hookworm. This is also found in animals as a infection. Ucheraria, as we know, the elephantiasis. The disease caused by this is elephantiasis in human. So, for plant is Meliodine incognitia. So, it's a direct question. There is no more discussion regarding that. Now, one more question. Application of biotechnology in the field of agriculture related one. Golden rice is, so it is also one of the transgenic plant, genetically modified plant. This is, as this rice will have a unique property having a particular what you call the nutrient which is very essential for the human growth and development. So with respect to that, if we keep on discussing, so a variety of rice grown along with the yellow river in China. So they have given golden rice is with related to golden color or some aspect, they have given some uh, options. It is not because it is a rice grown along the yellow river in China. Okay, it is not named so. So long stored rice having yellow color tint. So this is also not the reason golden rice is for a transgenic rice having gene for beta carotene. As I just told, it is a genetically modified rice plant or transgenic plant. So therefore, it is a transgenic rice having a gene for beta carotene. So it's particularly have this gene beta carotene. Of course, in golden rice also the gene from the two different species has been isolated. One is a daffodil plant, especially beta carotene gene is from the daffodil plant, and another is a bacteria, Erwinia donovani. From that also few genes has been inserted in the golden rice. However, this gene is a beta carotene gene responsible for producing a protein called beta carotene. Of course, the name protein itself is beta carotene, and that beta carotene is a precursor for the synthesis of an essential vitamin in human, what is called vitamin A. So, from beta carotene, eventually vitamin A will be synthesized on its consumption in the human body, and that vitamin A will, what do you call it, as a major role in the human development, especially the development of brain. So its requirement is essential as rice is the main food in majority of the country. So therefore, obtaining beta for vitamin A from the rice directly is a great achievement. So golden rice is a transgenic rice having beta carotene gene as a precursor for vitamin A protein, vitamin. That is, again, one can say this is the rice to overcome the problem of vitamin A deficiency in pregnant women and developing child. Okay. Wide variety of rice with yellow colored grain. No, this is not the reasons for golden rice. So option C is the right answer. So let us move on. The next question. Silencing of gene would be achieved through the use of, again, even this point I thought in the first question itself for silencing of gene. So that is RNA interference technology, RNAi technology is the answer for that. So silencing of gene could be achieved through the use of short interfering RNA, uh, antisense RNA, both A and B, none of this. So of course we are using short interference RNA, which are complementary to the host RNA, as it is also called antisense RNA because it is going to bind with the sense RNA of the nematode. So both A and B will be the answer for the. So gene silencing is made in this way. Already I have explained about it in the first question. Let us do not repeat again and again. So gene silencing. Following are the following plants, sorry, no mistake. Following are the advantage of genetically modified. GM means genetically modified crop, except one identified. So following are the advantages of genetically modified crops, except one identified. So there are four options as given. Now they have given the advantages of genetically modified plants here. That's one of the concepts we have studied in NCERT as a direct question. Genetically modified plants have advantages. They reduce dependence on chemical pesticides. Of course, genetically modified uh, plants will reduce the chemical pesticides. Like we have pest resistant plant itself. When we use that plant, there is no need of using pesticides, chemical pesticides. So it reduces its dependence. Of course, it is one of the advantage. They increase the efficiency of mineral usage. Of course, genetically modified plants are made in such a way that they absorb the minerals from the soil as they grow, and what do you call it, rapidly. Okay, or they grow in a good manner for required crop production. That is also one of the advantage. They enhance nutritional value of food. Of course, the genetically modified crop, like we have just we spoke about the golden rice. It has vitamin A, beta carotene. That nutritional value will be enhanced. Not only vitamin A, there are many such genetically modified plants where the various nutrients value has been increased, like increase amino acids content, protein content, such things. Okay. Their post-harvest loss are more. Basically, genetically modified plant as a main objective to reduce the loss. So it's not the advantage of the genetically modified crop. So what is mentioned, the post-harvest loss are more. Basically, the post-harvest loss is less is the advantage of using genetically modified, not more. So as per the question, we have identified all the advantages except one, and that answer is the option D. Move on. Transgenic plants are produced by. So how do you produce transgenic plant? In such a way, the question is inducing what do you call inducting gene mutation, arresting spindle fiber formation, deleting sex chromosome, introducing foreign gene. Inducting gene mutation. So of course, gene mutation may cause the change in the character of the plant, but we don't call it as transgenic plant. Because whenever we use this word transgenic plant, that means we have been introduced a foreign gene, that is a gene from the other organism into the plant body. Means that plant doesn't have that gene naturally in it, we have transferred it from the other organisms. Such plants are animals we call transgenic, animals are plants. So transgenic plant, it is not by gene mutation because that gene is already in that plant, it simply got mutated. That it doesn't call, of course, that plant is called mutant plant, we call. Arresting spindle fiber formation. So spindle fiber formation arresting will not cause any such great change except due to that there is no chromosomal distribution properly. That doesn't make it transgenic. Deleting sex chromosome, even deletion of addition of all these comes under mutation only. So that's not the proper answer for the transgenic plant. I just told transgenic plants are produced by introducing foreign gene. Don't consider foreign gene in the sense the gene from the other countries. It means the gene from the other organisms. Like we thought about BT cotton. We, to that, sorry, we thought about golden rice. In that, we are transferring the gene of the daffodil plant, that is called foreign gene, or bacteria, Erwinia donovan, that is the foreign gene for that golden rice. Okay. So it is also a direct question. Option D is the answer. Now, crystals of Bt toxin produced by some bacteria do not kill the bacteria themselves because. Now, I just thought the Bt cotton. So in Bt cotton, what we have transferred the insecticidal gene, cry genes, isolated from agrobacterium, sorry, yes, agrobacterium tumefacium bacteria. So that gene is already in that bacteria, and when it produces that toxin, why that toxin is not going to kill that bacteria? That is the behind this question. Crystals of Bt toxin produced by some bacteria do not kill the bacteria themselves because, of course, that bacteria, that poison will not kill the bacteria produced from that Bt gene because bacteria are resistant to the toxin. It is not so. They are not resistant to that. Even they may get killed if the proper environment is provided. If a suitable environment is provided for that toxin to be act, even the toxin can kill that bacteria. Okay, so therefore, bacteria resistant to toxin, it is not so. Toxin is immature. No, it is as soon it produces, it is functional. Immature in the sense non-functional, we can say. As soon it produces, it is functional. So that is also not the reason. Toxin is inactive. So that is might be a reason. Let us take one more option. Bacteria encloses toxin in a special sac. No, there is no such thing. It is directly released from the bacteria. There is no any packaging of that toxin, so that bacteria is not going to be killed. It's not that way, or it is not that thing. So toxin is inactive. For this question, why that bacteria is not being killed by the toxin? The question is toxin is inactive. Now you may get a question why toxin is inactive. If it is inactive, then how it become active in the test? That might be the question may arise. Of course, the toxin is inactive because I just told it doesn't have a suitable environment. Regarding that, there is one more question. Just took out the question 12 directly. I will just skip that question later on. I'm not going to discuss again because let us take that. Crystalline protein synthesis by Bacillus thuringiensis is activated by because of course that toxin is inactive when it is released from the bacteria because bacteria is not providing the particular environment required for the bacteria to be act. Oh, sorry, required for that protein to be act as a functional protein or to get activated. Now let us see this question. Crystalline protein. So here is question number 12. You can observe. Uh, okay. So crystalline protein synthesis by Bacillus thuringiensis is activated by acidic condition of bacterial food vacuole, alkaline pH of bacterial food vacuole, acidic pH in the insect foregut, alkaline pH in the insect foregut. So this protein, that is toxin produced by Bacillus thuringiensis, is activated only if it is provided a suitable environment like alkaline pH. Okay, if that pH is in the bacteria, definitely that bacteria is also going to be killed. But that pH, that alkaline pH is not in that bacteria, so therefore that bacteria is not going to kill as that toxin is inactive without alkaline pH. Now, in the insect, it is going to be activated because insect gut has alkaline pH. As it get activated, it performs its function is acting as a toxin. So it kills that insect. So that is the question for that is the discussion for both question number the eighth one just I have taken and even the 12 that we are going to skip later on. Okay, next question. Strains of Bacillus thuringiensis are used in producing. So this is the bacteria from which the genes have been isolated to transfer into the plants, making them less resistant. So strains of Bacillus thuringiensis are used in producing bioinsecticidal plants, biomineralization, biometallurgical techniques, biofertilizers. So the question is very clear, and in the options we can make it the answer very easily. That is, this is the bacteria which is used to produce bioinsecticidal plants, not for biomineralization or not for biometallurgical technique or not for biofertilizers. So direct question: which organisms is held responsible for causing root knot in food and fiber crop, especially tobacco? Of course, in the first question, I have told this disease name many times, and you know the answer very well, I think, because there itself we got the organism name Neleocani incognitia, which is a nematode roundworm infects the roots of the tobacco plant to what do you call cause root knot disease. So Cyanohabditis elegans, that is one of the what you called the organism used in genetics, especially its gene or DNA, mainly referred for studying the mechanism of DNA repairing. Okay, so therefore, it's not the organism for root knot disease. Nicotina tobaccum, one of the name of tobacco plant. Ascaris, Ascaris lumbricoides, that is the roundworm for ascariasis in human. For the given question, root knot in tobacco is Melidogae incognitia. It's a one small direct question. In flavor saver tomato, expression of a native tomato gene has been blocked too. Basically, flavor saver crop, we use that term flavor saver. Here that gene we have inserted into this crop, especially tomato has been named here. This is the gene to prevent or to block the degradation of pectin in the cell wall. I'll come directly to the answer. To prevent the degradation of pectin in the cell wall. As uh, if we prevent the pectin degradation in the cell wall of the tomato, eventually that make the cell what you call prolong in the natural state, natural condition, as even the shelf life of if the cells are younger for longer time, definitely the vegetable will remain fresh. If the cell decays, undergo degradation, eventually the what do you call the vegetable that are in the where the cells are present, they also get degraded. So flavor saver vegetables or tomato basically increases the shelf life of the vegetables. Means they remain fresh for long time. How do they remain fresh for long time? Basically, the cell wall has a pectin, and its degradation prevention will eventually keep the cell fresh for long time, as even vegetable remains fresh. So that is the thing, not the degradation of cellulose. Uh, Here, two of the things causing degradation. So in flavor saver, degradation causes means there is no meaning, because flavor saver will remain fresh for long term. Degradation will make even the vegetable degrade fast. So A and C, preventing degradation of cellulose or preventing degradation of pectin. So here pectin is the proper answer. Next question. Crystalline protein synthesized by Bacillus thuringiensis is activated by, I just told we had this question, so let's skip that question. Now come to the next question. Humulin is a now application in the field of medicine. Okay, up to this we thought about application in the field of agriculture, by taking BT cotton, then pest resistant plant as BT cotton, then golden rice, and even the tobacco, okay, infestation, which are the main topic of discussion in the syllabus. Now next, in the field of medicine, humulin is from that topic. Humulin is a natural insulin. No, natural insulin is simply called insulin. It's not humulin. Human insulin synthesized by genetically engineered E. coli. So this is the answer. Humulin is a human insulin, similar to human insulin, but produced by E. coli bacteria, which is genetically engineered. Okay, where we have transferred the human gene to the E. coli bacteria, where that E. coli bacteria has produced the human protein as insulin, and that insulin we have isolated, extracted, and marketed, and that is called humulin. So human insulin synthesis in pancreas is not simply called insulin. Chemically synthesized insulin, at that time we use the word artificial insulin, not humulin. Okay. Next, select the true statement from the following. Just a minute. Okay. Select the true statement from the following. There are four statements. Under that, there is a few or two statements. Let us see. Of course, related to insulin. Insulin from animal source may develop allergy in some patient. Now, we have a question. Of course, regarding that, there is one more question, I think. That is, in the previous days, insulin is being produced by other animals from the slaughtered cows, that is from the cattle and pigs. Their pancreas, of course, question number 16 is that question. Okay, let us keep on discussing both side by side. Okay, question number 16, insulin used for diabetic was earlier extracted from. So if you take the question option 1 of question number 14, here is the answer for that. Of course, in the previous days, means before biotechnology, we are obtaining insulin that is from the slaughterhouse of the pigs and sheep, cattle, to from where the insulin is isolated, which is causes allergies. Of course, for the 14th question, option A is true that insulin from other animal source will cause allergy. Okay. Then next is okay. C peptide is not present in matured insulin. So C peptide is not present in a matured insulin. Of course, a insulin that is freshly released from the beta cells of islets of Langerhans into the blood, it is having three peptide strands A, B, and C. So making it mature functional is possible only after removal of C peptide and making bond between A and D. And that one is a disulfide bond. Of course, there is one more question regarding that. Okay. However, so that is also the what you call true. C peptide is not present in matured insulin. So AB is true. Recombinant therapeutic does not induce unwanted immunological response. Of course, the various therapeutical products, that is medicines, for treating diseases, we are obtaining from recombinant, will does not induce any unwanted immunological response because it is clinically trialed, because they have undergone downstreaming process before releasing to the market, so they doesn't have unwanted immunological response. Means they are not going to be identified as foreign things. So that is also true. In the sense A, B, and C is true. As you can see the option, only two or any three option will be right and one should be wrong. Insulin can be administered orally to the diabetic patient. Never. You directly inject the insulin into the veins, that is blood, to the patient. So therefore, it is not true. A, B, C are only the true statements regarding insulin. Okay. Now one more application of biotechnology in the field of medicine. As that is the question. Permanent cure of ADA deficiency is. So ADA deficiency is one of the disease. Adenosine deaminase enzyme deficiency is due to what you call SCID, SCID, severe combined immunodeficiency disorder. That is the disease caused by due to deficiency of ADA. And of course, it was identified in the 4-year child. Later on, that uh, child is being cured from this disease by a therapy called gene therapy. Okay. In that therapy, they are going to perform certain steps. Regarding that only the options are. And again, one more question regarding these steps we will discuss. So genetically engineered lymphocytes. So permanent cure of ADA deficiency, because this disease will be cured permanently, and even there are some temporary methods like as an option enzyme replacement therapy. Due to deficiency of this enzyme can be extracted from the other human and injected to the deceased person. Okay, so that it gives a temporary relief, like what we say do in case of the diabetic insulin therapy. We give ready-made insulin as that make do not cure the diabetic, but it's a temporary relief from the diabetes. In the same way, that enzyme, ADA enzyme, also can be introduced for temporary, not permanent. So genetically engineered lymphocytes, of course, here we are making the lymphocytes genetically engineered by introducing the healthy genes into that from the healthy patient bone marrow. But that is also not the permanent. Because after once we start doing these genetically engineered lymphocytes introducing to the patient, we keep on doing that because lymphocytes they are not functional for long period of time. After a particular period of time, this lymphocyte dies. So we have to again what you call transfer the bone marrow of genetically engineered lymphocytes. So we keep on doing that over a period of time. That means it is also not a permanent. So ADA gene introduced in early embryonic stage. Now what we have to do as a permanent cure, we have to take the embryonic cells of the patient and we have to transfer that into the embryonic cells so that that cells distribute into the body where it forms as a whole body and eventually the disease will be cured. So this is regarding the ADA. We have to transfer the gene directly to the embryo. In the early embryonic stage, it is permanent. Later on, in the adult stage, we can make it only for a period of time. Insulin used for diabetes was earlier extracted, so I will just start from the slaughtered house from the cattle. Next, which statement is incorrect about gene therapy? Lymphocytes from patient bloods are cultured. The functional ADA or complementary gene is introduced into the lymphocyte. Lymphocytes are then introduced into the body of the patient. Patient does not require therapy. So all the three I just told in the previous question. In the gene therapy, first we took the lymphocytes of the patient blood and culture them. Then to those we insert the ADA gene as a complementary DNA from the healthy patient bone marrow and we insert it into the lymphocyte and those lymphocytes are put back into the patient body where they are functional for some time. Okay, then patient do not require periodic infection of genetically engineered lymphocytes. That is the wrong. As just told, the above method is in adult. It is only permanent, only temporary for some period of time. After lymphocyte dies in the patient body, we have to repeat this process again in the adult. So permanent is the thought in the previous question. So not required is incorrect. Okay, it is required. The previous what do you call it? Infusion of genetically engineered lymphocytes periodically. Next, interferon is a glycoprotein which is so interferon is one more medical product obtained by organisms. It is an antiviral. As you know, interferon is a protein produced by virus infected cells to protect the healthy cells from viral infection. So, as such, by this statement itself, it is very clear that it is a protein produced by virus infected cell to protect the healthy cells from viral infection. In this sense, it is antiviral. Whenever it is produced naturally by the body, the viral infection will be protected or basically in the various viral infection interferon has been introduced as a precautionary step. Okay, next question. The main challenge for production of insulin using recombinant DNA technology or DNA in the sense recombinant DNA technique was getting insulin into mature from using dash one. I just thought in the previous question there are three peptide bonds in the immature insulin A, B, and C. Now we have to basically the arrangement is A, C, and B. Now between is C, we have to remove that. Of course, it is possible by treating certain peptidase enzymes. Then A, B will be remain. The two strand has to be bound together in the artificial condition, and that is by treating with particular chemicals making disulfide bond, hydrogen disulfides that make the disulfide bond make between A and B peptide chain. That is the functional insulin or matured insulin. And this is answer is disulfide, not the other one. So a doctor while operating on HIV positive patient accidentally cut himself with a scalp in order to confirm whether he has contracted the virus for the following day. Of course, when we're speaking about the genetic biotechnology, one of the technique of biotechnology here, PCR, polymerase chain reaction, that is being used to diagnose the disease especially the diseases like HIV in the very early stage, soon after infection, we can say, that is by doing PCR, multiplying that viral genome, so as to make it test very accurately. So PCR the answer for this. Next, Rosie is a transgenic cow known to produce a type of milk which has all the following characteristics except. So one of the example for transgenic animal, that is the cow, Rosie. So who has been transferred many genes from various organisms including human to enhance the milk production and its quality. Keeping in that mind, of course, that protein content 2.4 grams per liter is the true fact. What is the just I'll go to the question again. Rosie is a transgenic cow to produce a type of milk which has all the following characteristics. That's it. Okay, which is not present. That is the question. Of course, it has a good protein content, high protein content. It has human alpha lactalbumin protein. Of course, that is from human being for the good growth of the babies. More balanced diet than normal milk for babies, of course, rich with nutrients and minerals and proteins. Rich in cholesterol, no, that is not the characteristics of rosy milk. Okay, which is a primary milk. It doesn't have more cholesterol content. It is not rich in cholesterol. Okay. Farming is a term that is described. It is not FORAM, it is actually PHRA, pharma. That is the suffix has taken from pharma, PHAR. So farming is a term that is described. So that is, of course, with the help of biotechnology, we are producing various uh, minerals, nutrients, uh, medicines, etc. So animal used in transgenic research. So animal used in transgenic research, they are not called farming. Plant making genetically altered food, no, that is genetically modified plants. Synthesis of recombinant drugs, the bacteria, that is not farming, not for farming. They are simply called the biotechnological drugs. Synthesis of a protein drug in the milk of transgenic animal. So, obtaining certain protein or drugs in the milk of the transgenic plant animals like rosy cow, we call it as farming. That is the right answer, option D. Which organization in India monitors genetic engineering program? So genetic engineering, one of the main branch of biotechnology, here where it is being controlled by a particular organization, and of course that is Genetic Engineering Appraisal Committee of India. That is option A itself is the answer for this question in India. Genetic Engineering Appraisal Committee. That is the right answer. Of course, IARA is not the answer for the Indian international international uh, Indian Agricultural Rice Research Institute. That is not the answer. NDRI, that is a National Dairy Research Institute. Yes, National Dairy Research Institute, located in the different states, has its center. The main center is in Haryana to control the quality and quantity of milk and milk production. Of course, White Revolution behind this. CDRI, that is Central Drug Research Institute, Lucknow, for the various drug formation studies, etc. So answer is GEAC, Genetical Engineering Appraisal Committee. Which variety of rice was patented by US company? Now, the issues like biopiracy patent under few questions. Which variety of rice was patented by US company even though the highest number of variety of this rice was found in India? So very common question, a very known question. So that is the basmati. So basmati is the rice who has been patented by US company illegally, though it is a native of India for its flavor and aroma. Sharbati Sonara is a wheat, semi-drop wheat obtained by H.G. Khurana, done by H.G. Khurana, produced by H.G. Khurana for the Mexican variety by irradiating with the gamma rays. So, behind which he is regarded as founder of, father of green revolution to India and founder of radiation genetics. 4667 is one of the variety of what you call the soya bean. Okay, good high yielding variety of soya bean. Now answer is basmati for this question. Lerma roja, which is also one of the semi-dwarf high yielding wheat variety derived from Mexican variety only. Okay. The government of India took which step to cater to the replacement of patent term and other emergency provision with regarding to the biopiracy. So there are the many acts keep on attempting in the law time to time. So one of the law for cater to the requirement of patent terms and other emergency provision is Indian Patent Bill. Okay, Biopiracy Act is for the biopiracy. Right to Information Act to get any information uh, by a common human from the government. Negotiable Instrument Act, it is one more act in the British era which is still following as uh, a promise to pay some amount to the investor or a particular person done by the government. So these are all not required. So Indian Patent Bill is to cater the requirement of patent terms and other emergency from the Indian government. Use of microorganism for the disposal of pollutant is termed as. So again, biopiracy is using living organism for various human needs. Uh, One such use of microorganism for the disposal of pollutant in terms of is termed as what we call remediation. So we use living organism for the as a remedy, like to remove the pollutants. One such example will come in the last question to remove the oil stains. Like here itself, let us discuss side by side, which for genetically engineered microbe are used to scavenge of oil. Like this is oil spills are the pollutant which may cause bad odor and unpleasant smell, even make the area what do you call slippery. So to remove this, we use microorganism, and of course that microorganism is Pseudomonas fetida. Okay, so using such organism as in this question, as question number 26, use of microorganism for disposal of pollutant is termed as bioremediation. Okay, the cybernetics is the use of certain automated process for and living organism techniques. Integrated organic farming, that is uh, using only pure uh, natural fertilizers instead of depending upon the chemical uh, pesticides or fertilizers. So the 27th question, critical research area of biotechnology are providing the best catalyst in the form of improved organism, usually microbes or pure enzymes. So these are some aims or research areas. Creating optimal condition through engineered for catalyst to act. Downstream process technology to purify the protein. All of this. So all these are the critical research area of the biotechnology. So all of these are the answer. So the last question for today's class and the conclusion for this topic. Match column 1 with column 2 and select the correct option. Biopiracy, of course, biopiracy is behind bio resources, using natural resources for the human purpose illegally. Bioprospecting is that is searching for unknown compounds in the living organism for bioprospecting. Monoclonal antibodies, of course, they are obtained by hybridoma technology. Transposons, of course, mobile genetic element, they are called transposons. So, if you match that, option D will be the right answer. So this is about the few selected questions. Even the previous questions in these questions are there for MCQ for me preparations. So I'll conclude this biotechnology topic here, uh, and we'll see you the next what do you call it, topic. Okay.